Here, do a little bit of practice here. Filmed a video about starting a ferro rod, and I've got it all knotted up here. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Uh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So there's a couple ways here I like to do it. You can take the striker that comes with it, and you can just go up and down like that. Yep, caught a piece of fat wood on fire. Or you can take your knife and do the same thing, pull on it or whatnot. Depending on your tinder, it should light up real quick light. So we got some fat wood tinder here. I'm not going to use it all. I did some fat wood shavings. Did that for Monday's video. And made me look silly on the Daggone Live, huh? Happens all the time. Be 100% prepared, and then you're gonna look like a fool sometimes. That's okay. But let's see what we got here. Doesn't matter what type of metal for the blade. If you want another video, I just put a video out the other day. Let me turn these lights down. I just put a video out the other day about selecting a bushcraft knife last week, and if you do that, go watch it. It's a pretty good video, in depth, and yes, it does matter what kind of metal your blade is. And like this is my Moore knife Garberg, and it is a the sun. It is a full tang knife. It is carbon steel. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, all the way down through here. And I use and abuse this dude. I really like it. But it's very trustworthy. It's easy to sharpen, and it holds an edge pretty long, pretty good time. But this is the part where you got to have practice here, where you using pine straw to light your fire. It's been wet and it's kind of damp. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Just trying different ways of doing the ferro rod. I've been doing it this way. It seems to work pretty good. That pine straw is wet. Pretty darn wet. Oh, I forgot to turn the camera down, didn't I? There we go, we'll do it again. I've been turning this thing over, kind of like with the spine up and working on it that way. And I'm not having as much success. Burn my handle. But if I do it this way, it works a little better. This is crazy. That's some wet stuff. So how is everybody tonight? See, this is what they call it, practice. You get out here and you practice. Like a big old piece of pine bark in there. best thing to do is to practice with different kind of tenders, because you never know which one's going to light faster than the other. I know that this fat wood tender right here is going to light, but wet pine straw usually takes a little while. But if we put this puppy right here, making me look silly. Gonna let it be, but it's been raining this week. It kind of got everything all damp, and I just picked that up off the ground. So yeah, you see how it's not really burning? Normally it'd be just like on fire. But like they say, practice makes perfect. You got to practice in all conditions. All right, let me see here. How do you turn these comments on so you can see what's actually being said here? Oh, there's a little comment button. All right, cedar bark or find a quartz. The fir is flammable. Hello from Pennsylvania. Love your videos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Some of this stuff should be taught in schools. Cedar bark is extremely flammable. Cypress and cedar is actually very flammable stuff. Pine, like this stuff this is all fat wood right here from pine trees, and it smells like turpentine or pine salt, and it is very flammable as well. And you don't have a problem making a fire with that stuff at all. I don't know why this thing keeps turning off. Do I have the answers to what? What was the question? No, I do not. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm watching. How are you? Well, thank you for watching, bro, for fishing. Ready to learn something. Stainless or high carbon steel? My knife is high carbon steel. I do have a stainless steel knife, and actually, let me go get it. Now, I just did a video the other day on these knives, how to select a bushcrafter survival knife. And this is the Mora Garberg, and it's a high carbon steel knife. It needs to be cleaned tonight and sharpened. This is the Mora HD Companion HD. It's a stainless steel knife. It is pretty darn sharp, and I like it, but it's not a full tang knife, so you can break the handle off of it. This is a Spear Outdoor Special. I made it myself out of a bed rail and a piece of oak wood that I cut off of a tree, and made it with a old bed rail that was bent, somehow got bent, and I just carved it down and made it. It's pretty much high carbon steel. It doesn't have the sharpest spine on it for like a ferro rod, but it still works. But high carbon steel knives are better than stainless steel knives when it comes to ferro rods. But this has been a good little knife. It was my real quote unquote first outdoors knife, and I made it years ago. And I took it with me on several trips. I've actually cleaned armadillo with it, and ate armadillo. So not bad for a homemade knife. Let's see what it looks like there. There it is. That's my little homemade knife. Nice little bed rail. I sat there for a couple of days grinding it down and making it the way I wanted to make it. But it works, and that's the trick to it. Is if it works, it works. You know, you don't need fancy stuff if what you got works. So I found a sheath from another knife, and I bought it at a garage sale. It was a little stainless steel thing, but it holds it. It does pretty good. So, anybody got any questions so far? I'm putting out a new video Monday about using a ferro rod, and what's the difference between a ferro rod and a fire steel. And I just successfully did videos on both of those, and they're going to be coming up here shortly. It's all going to be part of the online survival course I'm putting together. And I'll be honest with you, I never in a million years thought how hard it'd be to put together an online survival video course or something like that, but it's actually pretty difficult. It's very time consuming, and I've worked on it diligently all night. I'm writing scripts, and the next day I'm recording, and every day, and I'm not even halfway finished. So because I don't want to charge somebody for something and them not be satisfied with it. I'd rather charge somebody with something, a price, and they come to the course and they get more than they expected, than if I charged the price and then they didn't enjoy it and they want a refund. So in order to combat that, you just add a little bit more than what they expect, and hopefully no refunds. Hopefully, we'll see. There's always going to be the one or two out there. I knew all this stuff. Well, that's why it's a basic survival course. It's for the people that don't know all that stuff, you know. And I try to stay around the basics because a lot of survivalists out there and bushcrafters and all that stuff, or whatever you want to call them, a lot of them nowadays are more they get into more of the advanced stuff, you know. And when you pull up a video and you watch these guys, it's like, okay, so how do you use this or do this? And you have to dig for an hour in video. So if you stick with the basic stuff, and people will, you know, grow with you, I guess. So anyway, I always feel silly sitting here talking to a daggone camera. But let's see, what's this? How many strikes do you get on one rod, Justin? I don't know if you're still on or not. But one rod is usually good for about 20,000 strikes. That's what they say. So if you see here on my ferro rod, what I've done is I take 1-inch duct tape and I put back here on the back. That way, if you get a fire going, you could take some of this duct tape off. It's flammable. It can extend that flame a little bit longer, and it'll burn a little bit longer. So you just reach up there and you grab you a piece of that duct tape, tear it off, and add that to your flame, and it'll burn a lot longer and help you get your fire started. But the ferro rods usually, especially the ones from Uberleben, a lot of people call it Uberleben, but Uberleben, and Uberleben has a promo code for Spear Outdoors that you go to their website, uberleben.co, and you can get anything on their website for 10% off. So you put in Spear Outdoors 10 when you check out. But these guys right here, they make a good ferro rod. As you can see, I've used this one for a pretty good while, and then they finally sent me another one, but I don't want to use it until I get out into the woods somewhere for real. So I practice with it, and I practice often, and I start fires a lot. And I try to start fires in wet conditions and dry conditions and any condition I can. And I try to start fires with different kind of materials. Being in South Mississippi like I am, my favorite, absolute favorite fire tinder is dog fennel. Once dog fennel dies in the wintertime, it leaves the flowers and those real fine leaves, and it'll start a fire just as fast as fat wood will, and it's a very good fire tinder. Goldenrod does the same thing. Was common sense ever common? I make better tools. uh, yeah, I've been trying to get on that show for a long time, and it ain't happened yet. So, carbon steel does rust. You want to make sure that you keep it oiled or cleaned off. Don't leave it out in the weather. And you're very welcome, Paul, for the videos. Where can I buy the metal starter like yours? Uberleben.com, uberleben.co. I'm sorry. And if you go to my website, speiroutdoors.com, I have a links page there. All my links to everything is on there. And usually in all my videos, I got links in there too. Oh, let's see. Oh, you're welcome. Hopefully we'll see the glasses making fire. Yeah, actually that comment came up the other day. I believe it was probably you. And I went to go do it, and I used a pair of reading glasses, and I did start a fire with it. But I didn't have my camera recording it. So it's been cloudy and nasty for the past 2 days. Right now it's clearing up. The sun's going down. So these lights are way too bright. There we go, a little better. All right, let's see what we got going on here. No, common sense was never common. Australia, good Lord, watching me from Australia. I feel privileged. I really appreciate that. I am located in South Mississippi. Hey, dude, I expect the world will end soon, and your videos will keep me and my family safe in the end of the world. Well, thank you very much. And a long time ago, I started, about 10 years ago, I started doing this, between 10 and 12 years ago. And I fell in love with it. And ever since then, I've just been out here making videos. And I've been making videos for 3 years. And all of a sudden, in the past couple of weeks, it seems like everybody has discovered that I've made videos for the past 3 years. So, especially with the shorts, one of my shorts picked up and shot to the ceiling in the past, since the 18th, what's today? In about 10 days, all my videos have garnered 4.5 million views so far. And I was just like blown away. I was like, wow, this is crazy. But I never expected it. I've always just do what I love. I come out here and I shoot a video, I put it on there, and if people watch it, they watch it. If they don't, I enjoy making it. So, all right, if somebody's used to doing this live, how do I get the comments to stay on? Why do they keep disappearing? Marine veteran, you've always been interested in, I've always been interested in survival lifestyle. I feel like I know very little though. Congrats on the page taking off. Oh, well, thank you very much. I am an Air Force veteran. I'm retired Air Force. I used to be a medic. And when I got out of the military, I decided I didn't want nothing to do with the hospital no more. And now I wish, with all the advent of the COVID and stuff, I wish I would have kept my licenses and stuff up, because now it'd be easier to get a job. Back when I got out 7, 8 years ago, it wasn't. bushcraft is becoming very popular. And I did a video. Hello, Scotland, how you doing? Oh wow, all the way from Scotland. Bushcraft is becoming very popular because I guess people feel like that it's like the economy tanking, and I mean I don't know about where you're at, but I know here in South Mississippi, you go into the grocery store, there ain't no groceries. There ain't, the shelves are bare. And then if you get some meat or whatever, it's exponentially priced. So I think that's why a lot of this bushcraft stuff is becoming popular, is because people feeling like, hey, look, it's happening. Hey, Spain, how you doing? Social distancing trend. Adventure time. Yes, great. Readers do work better than bifocals, and like, believe it or not, these are bifocals, and it's hard to get it to light. I even tried lighting a piece of char cloth. I couldn't get it to light, on a very bright sunny day. And Mississippi, we don't have any shortage of bright days. Ohio in the house. Buckeye Bushcraft. How are you doing? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. But yeah, the bushcraft thing, I absolutely love it, and I think it's a lot of fun. And my brother and I used to go practice a lot until he had to move. Uh, Tennessee and the Carolinas. Huh. Well, hello. But he had to move up north a little bit, and we don't get as much time practicing like we used to. And I wish we did, because it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So it leaves me getting out in the woods by myself. And as soon as things calm down, I got a house that I got to finish working on, and it'll be done in the next 30 days. I got a video course I'm working on. It'll be done hopefully in the next month or so. You're welcome very much. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch them. I really appreciate it. Bushcraft enthusiasts that would be willing to help me do what? Make the course, video course? Huh. Well, if there is, I'd like for them to get in touch with me. I started a TikTok back in March. I think I explained this on the last live. I don't know how many people was actually here, but I did that in March, and I started TikTok on there. And I looked in there today, and it was like 182,000 viewers or followers or whatever you want to call it, subscribers or whatnot. And I got this company that has emailed me and wants me to review a couple of their products. And usually it's, whenever they want you to review their products, it's stuff that don't even pertain to bushcraft or camping or anything like that. And so I've turned down metal detector companies, I've turned down flashlight companies and stuff like that, because you know everybody's got a flashlight, and I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable with a flashlight. But uh, I did get, I accepted the offer with them because they offered hammocks and underquilts for hammocks and stoves and titanium pots. And I'm like, hey, let's do some negotiation here. So I'm waiting on them to email me back. They email me back, I'll probably be putting some TikTok videos up about those items. So you always been an outdoor guy. Trying to teach your daughter. Yeah, this world is getting crazy. Take a single endorsement, it helps. Yeah, well, as soon as somebody comes along, the only thing that I've gotten really right now is with the Uber leaving, the people that make the Ferro rod, and it's not really an endorsement or nothing. They just give 10% code off you, and if they every once in a while they'll send you a package with some more stuff in it, depending on how many people use your code. And if people use that code, then they send more stuff like stoves and stuff like that. And but I like their products. I love their ferro rods. And I got that video coming out Monday, hopefully Monday if I get it edited. That's what I'm out here doing today is this. So, boy, something killing me today. Anyway, we got about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna move over to TikTok and go over there for a few minutes. Have you got any tips? Let's see. Let's see. I'm sorry if I don't get all the comments. I apologize. Yeah, his channel's brilliant. Thank you. What's a random bushcraft tip that will take less than a few minutes to, or I guess you mean tip, a few minutes to explain? It's not part of your video that you don't have to move around a lot for. A random bushcraft tip that's not part of my video that you don't have to move around a lot for. Well, actually, I will have to move for it, but it's not real random. But think of this here. Set the puppy up. Random tip. All right, random tip here is that I don't know how well you can see with that light, that sun. There we go. Sorry guys about all the shaking and moving. All right. Random tip. All right, big old spider. Go find someplace else to live. This is my absolute favorite survival knot. All right. So you get you a length of cord like this. All right. And let's say it's just a loop. And the reason why it's here is because I did a TikTok video on it a while back. But you go ahead and you just take your loop and you loop it around right here. And then you just pull this through. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And then you just tighten it down. And when you tighten it down, just make sure these puppies are nice and like that. Now, that's a Prusik knot. And this is good for like tarps and tents and guy lines and all kinds of anything you need. I use this for trot line fishing for catfish. And I just take a loop, a string, and then you put your hook on the bottom and tie it onto a string going across. And it's not going to go nowhere. This thing will not go nowhere. But all you got to do is just come back up here and bunch it back together. You can move it wherever you want. And so you can really tighten down your tarp on your over your hammock or your tent or anything like that. And that knot right there is just like amazing. It is. That's my favorite knot in the woods, the Prusik knot. So, and to make it, once again, you just take your loop over whatever you're tying your line on, and you just bring that other end, and then you loop it around, bring it in again. Oops, twisted on me. And then bring it around one more time, just like that. And then when you tighten it down, you're going to have 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. Come on now. Only when you go live is something like that going to be pain in the butt. There you go. And you tighten that thing down, it's going to look like 6 little loops right there. And when you pull it, it is not going to go nowhere. I mean, it absolutely is not going to go. And that is my quick bushcraft tip of the day. I hope that was good enough for you. Yep, safety when you rappel, it tightens down on the rope. You're absolutely right. And they use it for search and rescue or rappelling and all kinds of stuff. Random tip, cordage, 550 paracord, jute twine. Uh, I tell you what, random tip is going to be the jute twine, or actually, no, it's not. It's going to be bank line. So if you take bank line, which is a nylon braided line, they use it for catfishing. Uh, I know a bunch of survival schools out there right now are using that and recommending that, but I've always used that because it was cheaper than paracord, and it has 350-pound breaking strength. Or yeah, it depends on the size. Some of them go up to 470, but I've used it all my life for catfishing and trout lines and stuff like that. But if you take that string, it's got three strands stranded together, and then you can pull that apart and you can fluff it up, and it will actually make a great fire tender where you can start your fire. It's 11:50 p.m. for me right now. Wow, it is I don't know what time it is here. Was it 6 o'clock? Maybe 6. Where you at? Have you got any tips on bushcraft cooking? Okay, so that's coming up. Yes, I do. I want to do a in-depth video, and it's going to be part of the little course that I'm doing. And it's going to be an add-on module to the course I'm doing. Is how to set up your cooking in your camp. Basically, I got a video of this. I did a 1-minute video, like a shorts, on my page about the adjustable pot crane, and I also did a regular pot crane, and I did the adjustable tripod cooking system there, and you can check those out on there. But yeah, I'm going to be doing videos on that in depth, and it's going to be also part of a module of the course. And it's going to be like an add-on after if you take the basic class, then you can take that one type deal, or you can do it by itself. So just ideas that I'm having right now. But yeah, the bushcraft cooking it's not hard. It's not hard. I mean, if you're in a survival situation, you're just mainly going to put it on a stick and stick it over a fire and roast it. But if you got a pot, I recommend, like all these guys you watch on the Alone TV show, Alone, or these survival shows, if they would boil all their food and then drink all the nutrients out of it and then just spit the bones out, they would get a lot more nutrition out of it, a lot more fats out of it. They would actually get a lot more out of their food than just roasting it over an open fire. When it comes to nutrition, as far as like fish and stuff like that, you boil all of it, and then you drink it and then eat it, you know what I mean? But you get more nutrition from that. As far as cooking tips, wild onions, they pretty much grow everywhere in the United States. Wild onions, wild garlic. There's a couple other things that you can forage around for. Mushrooms, a lot of people have been asking me to do mushrooms, but mushrooms, there's 70,000 variations of mushrooms, and only 270 of them are edible. I mean, and a lot of them look alike, and I don't want to be the cause of somebody saying, hey, Spear Outdoors said I could do this, and they end up dead or sick in the hospital or something like that. So it takes a lot of understanding in mushrooms in order to collect them and eat them. Speaking of mushrooms, yesterday I just found chicken of the gravel is what they called it, and I never realized it's a bunch of mushrooms that grow in a clump, and they blow in the open ground, and usually in yards, by driveways, stuff like that, and it'll have 20 or 30 mushrooms growing together in a clump. And so I found those, and I wanted to do a little bit more research. They are edible, but I want to do a little bit more research on that. As far as bushcraft cooking in the woods with mushrooms, there's one variation of mushroom that is unmistakable, and it's completely edible, and I will put my seal of approval on that one, and it is the beard tooth mushroom, or the lion's mane mushroom. Basically, they're same thing. They grow on oak trees, If you have an oak tree, they usually grow about between 10 and 30 feet off the ground. So all the ones I've ever seen were about 10 feet up, and they grow in a big round glob, and they look like they got the stalagmites or whatever it is hanging off of them all the way around. And uh, it looks like, I don't know how to explain it. Just Google mushroom, but they're all edible. There's only two variations of it. Both of them are basically the same thing, and they're both edible, and they're non-mistaken. You can't mistake them for another one. Uh, I wish these comments would come up while I was talking. That way I wouldn't have to spend so much time. You had better know what you're doing with shrooms now. Yes, yes, indeed. You're a prepper, and I want to learn bushcraft. Nathan Kennedy. All right. Well, if you're a prepper, are you interested in going on a TV show? Because I just got contacted by a TV company the other day looking for people that were preppers or fixing to buy a piece of property or something like that. And if you have a homestead, you're looking for a homestead, or you're looking at a house to turn it into a survival or prepping type house, these guys want to hear from you because they want to do a TV show. And matter of fact, I'm supposed to, I forgot all about it. I was supposed to do a TikTok video on that, post on TikTok so I can get them some more leads. It's one of those plastic floating ropes. You're building a shipping container bunker. Building, huh? Yeah, you probably need to talk to them and see if they could come out and film you while you do it, and you get paid. You be on TV. It's the same people that put Alone together, so it's going to be a good show. Yeah, this is one of those little plastic floating ropes, and it sags. It sags a little bit. It stretches. All right. I don't understand why everybody's got to have loud trucks when they come up and down the road. David Aurora has some good books on mushroom harvesting. All right, the only one that I have is the National Audubon Society Guide to Mushrooms, and I use it. And it's got a lot of pictures in there, but you can't just go off of pictures because usually you got one mushroom over here that looks like that, and you look it up and it looks exactly like that in the book, but it's a totally different one. That's why I steer clear of mushrooms, because it's just not, it's not worth getting sick or dying whenever you're 10, 12 miles away from anything. You're trying to convince your dad to let you go out and bushcraft, and it's not working. Well, how old are you? You want to start a homestead, a prepper retreat. Yeah, that money thing seems to get in the way sometimes, don't it? Like right now, I'm having issues with my business. We had a technical incident where somebody ran over something, and now the state has shut us down until we can fix the problem, and I cannot fix the problem, and it's costing me a lot of money as we're going. I can't go into too many details about it, but it is horrible right now. So essentially, right now I'm jobless until I can get this fixed. And it costs money to fix problems, and if you don't have money coming in, you can't fix problems, so it only gets worse. It could end up depressing, but I'm not going to let it be depressing. I serve a mighty God. Kangaroo steaks, I have never tried that before. Is it any good? Let's see here. All right, Melon Man. Well, if he won't let you practice the bushcraft, just keep watching the videos, and then eventually you'll be able to get to where you can practice them if you want to. You know, it's it's a good idea to do stuff like that, know about nature, to know how to get out there, and how to start a fire, how to set up a camp, how to camp. You know, that's how I started out, just by camping. When I was a kid, well, my dad's version of camping was to bring everything but the kitchen sink. And then as I got older, I realized, hey, I get sick and tired of lugging all this stuff around. And then finally, I made it to where I go out with a backpack with a hammock and a tarp and a pot and a pound of beans and a knife and my ferro rod. And that's pretty much it. So the more you know, the less you carry. The great Morris Kohansky said that. He was the author of the Bushcraft book. And if you want a book, get that one. Get the Bushcraft by Morris Kohansky. And he is an amazing dude. Well, he's dead now. He died a couple of years ago, I believe. But that man, he made a survival kit out of a 2-quart bush pot. And he would go out into the jungle, not jungles, but the boreal forest of Canada. And that was his survival kit. So, all right, guys, it's been 42 minutes on here. I got to get off here. I got to go edit some videos and get ready for Monday. And I also got to start barbecuing some chicken at the house. So I really appreciate everybody's support. And I thank you so much for stopping by. And God bless you. And we'll see you next time.